Mark Medlin, and this is Eric Bergerman. We're with Paragon Application Systems, and we want to talk a little bit today about managing change. These are exciting times that we're in, because with change comes opportunity, and that's what we're here talking about today even, is change and opportunity and ways to capitalize on that opportunity. Well, with these opportunities, as we consider it, we have to remember we have existing payment infrastructure that's already in place that also needs care and feeding. You may have to put updates on them for compliance reasons, security reasons, for regulatory reasons. And so we've become integrators of these very complex and diverse solutions. And I think our initial speaker at this conference, I think he put it fairly well when he said, integration, that's where the rubber meets the road. And as integrators in these complex solutions, experience tells us that we can expect failures to happen. But our responsibility is to make those failures happen fairly early in the release cycle. That gives us time to contain and mitigate the risk. So you have test teams, and your test teams, they are very effective at de-risking a solution before you deploy it. However, they need enough time, and that's the problem. These days, as we increase the size of our software stack, as we increase the complexity, they don't have enough time anymore. And so it's like they're drinking water from a fire hose. They're drowning here. And so we need to help them out a little bit. Well, we have some options. One of them is to elongate our release cycle. We can reduce the amount of testing that we perform, or we can continue to grow the team as we add new functionality to our software stack. But none of those options are really that palatable. So, the challenges are real. So the question is, what do we do about that? Do we stand frozen in our tracks and do nothing, or do we move forward? And so what we need is a fresh new way to think about testing and really make a radical change in our thinking about it. And so what we need to do is stop thinking of testing as a step in the release cycle or a part of a project. We need to think of testing as this testing machine that runs 24/7 on our behalf, a machine that allows you to drop sensors and probes in it. They're always inspecting your software before you release it out to the market. This system, it needs to be adaptable. As you bring new functionality into your software stack, you can add more sensors and probes in it, expand it. It needs to give you good, actionable data so that as it finds defects in your solution, you can quickly make good business decisions. Now, what about our test teams? So our test teams now, they are no longer doing the testing. What they are is they are engineers on this test machine. Their job is to make it more effective, make it better, make it so that you have more confidence when you release their software. So the test machine obviously is Web Fast Test. And with Web Fast Test, you can begin practicing continuous testing. And so at Paragon, we started practicing continuous testing about 10 years ago. And what we found was that the benefits that we saw, we felt like we could take that to the rest of the payments community. And so we went about building Web Fast Test from the ground up with continuous testing in mind. And so Web Fast Test allows you to complement your existing test systems in your test organizations. Through an open API, it allows you people in your organization anywhere they sit geographically to collaborate effectively. We allow you to leverage the protocols that are built into the payments protocols that are built into the system, so that you can jumpstart your continuous testing process. We also give you actionable signals that you can use to make good business decisions. So we've talked about the challenges and we've talked about the solution a little bit. Let's look at the example that Eric has to show to us. So what we have here is we have an integrated solution with Jenkins and Web Fast Test. Jenkins' responsibility is to monitor for changes in your software that you're about to release, and then it sends a signal to Web Fast Test through the Web Fast Test API. Web Fast Test starts firing the signals and the probes, collects the data, and it lets us know what's going on. So as we were talking, we probably executed 350 test cases, probably 30 of them maybe failed. Of those 30 failures, now we can really focus in on where the issues are with those 30 failures. We don't spend a lot of time on the 320 tests that pass. And the reason is we want to take that time that we would normally spend running those tests back, reinvesting on our testing machine, making it better, making it so that we build momentum. As we build momentum, our release cycles get shorter and shorter with less and less risk. We're delivering more and more value to our end users or downstream customers, and we're starting to release software with confidence. So, as you listen to this, you may recognize some challenges that we talk about. You may be thinking, this sounds great, but I don't really know where to get started. Well, our experience with continuous testing is it's a journey. And the most important thing is to just get started, because once you get started, what happens is it takes a life of its own. And so there'll be twists and turns all along the way, and as you adapt to the way that your organization operates. But over time, what you'll find is that you come to depend on this system, and you start wondering, how in the world did I ever release reliable software without continuous testing? So if you're interested in talking about this more or learning more about it, or you just want to stop by and talk about testing, heck, Eric and I, we love talking about it. So come by booth 402 and visit us. And I got a minute left. Thanks to the tech guys. They've been really helpful. You guys give them a round of applause.